Welcome back to another episode of He's a Guy podcast. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. We're everywhere. There's going to be a little red button popping up right here. Let's see it. Click that. Something. Remember. Feel me?
Yeah.
Today, we welcome a very, very special guest, a respected name in the media space. He's known for his work as a producer, a host, a broadcaster, just to name a few titles. I'm excited. We're all excited. Please do welcome in Akil Augustine. Thank you for joining us.
Give me a little clap. Yeah, give me a little clap.
The first guest I got to clap like.
I am a guy.
Don't kill me.
Usually how we start, we go around the room, a little mental check-in. Just give us a number, add a little context in, please do.
Oh, I had a bout of sciatica Friday at the Raptors game. They almost had to carry me off the court on a stretcher.
For real?
So real talk. So I'm gonna say like a 6.5, 7.
Damn.
I'm in pain, but no, I'm in pain. If I'm being honest, I'm in pain.
It's even more special to have you here. You know,
Thank you for
you are a
Hey,
guy.
no, I'm down, man. I play hurt.
Go ahead.
I'm not Kawhi.
Juice, holla at me. How you doing today, bro?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm glad to be here. You know, got to watch young Fred play. Seen him doing his thing. I'm
Your
a 10.
son? Your son was playing?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, I was gonna say it's a young Freck. I was like,
Yeah. When my mental checking comes, I'll let you guys know while responding.
okay.
I'm good
intrigued.
though. I'm good.
Although you'll notice, like, I'm like, see how I'm turning my neck right now?
I was about to ask you.
Sciatica.
So it's actually a nerve issue in my leg. But then when I went home, I passed out in a weird position because I was trying to like protect my leg, and so I hurt my neck. So it's
So that whole side shut down.
You got a 2-for-1.
yeah.
You sound like Kevin Hart just now. I hurt my neck.
I never want to sound like Kevin.
All right, well, moving on. Mental check-in for me today. I'm a 9, bro. It was a great day.
Hey,
I love it. It was nice outside for when it was. It's getting a little colder, but it is what it is.
shouts out
I
to
hate
global climate change.
it's stuff. It's bad. Freck, what you saying?
I'm a solid 8. You know, I lost my voice. You know, it's just starting to come back. So, you know, it might be cracking a lot. I see.
Yeah. Body language, you know?
All right. No, I'm a solid 8. You know, got to coach my son and his team today. You know, we went 1-1. They did their thing out there. You know, learning, developing.
What was the message to the kids at the end of the day?
I love them.
They played that bad?
No, it wasn't that they played that bad. Sometimes I'm a little too passionate and I get involved in the game where they think I'm yelling at them instead of like positioning them in the right way on the floor and developing them, making them understand the game. So sometimes they kind of look at me like with a blank face.
Yeah.
And like, so after the game, you know, I was like, as much as I yell and, you know, I'm loud, I do love you guys. And they all went, huh? Like, you know, and like, so, you know,
You hated us.
you know what I'm saying? So but that was the best part of the day. We went 1-1. We lost one, and then we won the second one. It was a really good game.
Nice.
Yeah.
How you doing, pretty boy?
I was going to say, I wanted to call you a nickname, but I'm leaving that in the past.
Yeah, tell us.
Nah. Deshaun, what you said, bro? Deshaun, what you said?
Full to Sean.
He did the bird.
Yeah, but then why you rubbing your hands?
I didn't even notice.
He did the bird
There's a
man.
fire back
You gotta
there.
go back in. You gotta go back in the vault. He always has something. You got a special tie, kick,
Extra
all
light
type
skin on us today.
all
eh?
type of nonsense.
He just licked his
Let's go.
lips
Okay,
too.
Kurt.
Go ahead.
Bird,
Let's
how
do the whole
is
thing.
that?
Sorry.
Dude.
What do you mean? Now you guys brought down my check-in.
Sorry.
I was at an 8. Now I'm a 7.
He's right.
Touche.
Tell it myself in my check. Tell us about
That's right.
So yeah, I'm a 7. Had a really good day. Went to church.
Man.
Church.
You know, it was a really good sermon about peace,
Mhm.
being peaceful even when things are going left.
Like now.
Those things are not now, but like sometimes. There are days where I'm like, yo, my day is horrible. I'm in a bad mood. The message is just that it's not about what's happening to you on the outside. Just be good on the inside. Things are gonna go left sometimes,
Yes, they are.
but just accept that. And once you accept that, you have more peace.
Mm.
Just be. So yeah, my mental check-ins are about 7.
Preach, brother. Preach.
Don't respond.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Yeah, I
Leave
like the
it alone.
dynamic we have here.
Leave it
I'm
alone.
watching him and I'm watching you, and I'm like, there's
Akil,
a real connection.
you're gonna find out that we are friends. So
Yeah, we're
that's
friends.
it. There's history and everything.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I got a couple friends like that too.
So it's just multi. You know what I mean? But kind of get into your journey with broadcasting, because I mean that's what I'm assuming most people would know you from.
I
You know
hope so.
what I'm saying?
It better not be something else they know me for.
So
You know?
I want to kind of eat into that. Like,
Yeah.
what's your journey with broadcasting been like? How did you start? What kept you there?
You know what? I'll say this, because like I could probably tell this story the way I've always told the story, which is through like the North American capitalist ideology that we share. But like there's also like, for me, when I think about what I do professionally, I want to look at it through the archetypes of my own history. And so when I look through like the lens of like Pan-Africanism, I think of storytellers, right? And like even in like globally, like back in the day, there was the guy who would run from town to town to let everyone know what was happening, right? It was usually like a fast runner or a distance runner, right? And they'd go from town and like, hey, here's what's happening here, just so you know, right? And that was a very important role. And then like in other ways, like the caretakers would tell stories to the young people, or the eldest would pass on the tales from their culture or their community or their tribe to the young people. So, I mean, like, capitalistically, I do this for a living, right? So, like, I've come up through school and through a bunch of different organizations that produce content. But I think beyond that, like, archetypally, I'm a storyteller, in that that's like the role I would have served in my community had there not been television or the internet, right? I would have just been someone who talked a lot, or would have passed on information, or would have, ambassadored my tribe with another tribe. So like, there's that aspect of it. And then there's like, yeah, man, I saw Eddie Murphy and Chris Tucker on TV, said I want to do that. And then when I got out of high school, I enrolled it, and then like interned a bunch. But there's a lot of different levels and layers of my story. But fortunate enough that I live in a city, because like I could take credit for what's happened to me, but I'm fortunate enough to live in a city that has an NBA team.
No.
Yeah.
Because then I wouldn't be here.
Would you not have taken on broadcasting within another sport or anything like that?
They needed a black guy, bro.
Token, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, you think about it. Like, what was it Blue Jays and Maple Leafs in Toronto?
Facts.
So, I mean, how many black broadcasters have worked for either team?
Touche.
That's a good question.
What stories did you want to tell? Like when you thought about being a storyteller, like what meant a lot to you?
You know what? That's probably the one I can't look at through the lens of history. It would have been a story, but I think so much of my life has been a reaction to the things that have happened to me, that the story that I'm telling right now is the story of, and I'm in a new phase of my life, so I'm trying to get a grasp on exactly what this story is. Like traditionally, what I did was like I was a striver, right? A survivor, all that stuff. Especially when you listen to hip hop, you come up and there's that attitude that you take against the culture, right? And I think for me that was the position I took. I was very much like DMX, Tupac, Nipsey Hussle, right? Just like strive, make it, get out of the situation that you're in. And that's a very told story. So I think now I'm kind of figuring out a new story to tell. And that's kind of like why I'm here. Like media literacy might be the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like really taking in the content you're consuming and seeing how it's affecting you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still in the weeds, man. I'm still in the bush hacking away, trying to figure out exactly what this thing looks like.
I appreciate that answer, to be honest. You touched on, storytelling,
Yeah.
right? So I want to kind of get into how do broadcasters, I guess generalize it a little bit. How do you guys balance storytelling with real-time analytics?
Yeah. So look, there's schools of thought with sports, right? So there's people who are really big into analytics, and like, especially like working for the Raptors, like we embraced analytics heavy, right? So there's a whole new side of the front office, like people I've never met, like guys who don't look like basketball players who come out and they're like, oh, who's this guy? Like he's a math guy from Wharton or something, right? So it's like, yeah, like it's like I think about basketball now, and the way I thought about basketball and the way people think about basketball now is insane, right?
Has it shifted? Like you sitting in that?
Yeah, because for me, basketball was about me and you, right? My 5, your 5, carve out space, nice you up when I got you one-on-one. but it's such a system. It's like soccer now. It's like this guy knows if he drives baseline, the other guys has to be in the corner for that pass. So he's not even looking when he's throwing that pass. Then they're skip passing it. He knows where the cutter is. It's like we did that, but it wasn't as systematized. So these guys are way more efficient. And I think the analytics has played a huge role in improving shot selection. Like I grew up with guys like Baron Davis, Stephon Marbury, Steve
I'm
Francis.
just getting them up.
Huh?
I said, yeah,
Yeah,
just getting them up.
The shot selection was atrocious.
Right.
But when it went in, I loved it. But I will say this, I'm not an analytics guy because analytics isn't what brought me to basketball. I don't care, right? I think there's a danger of like if basketball gets too analytical. Like I came to basketball because I got to Canada and Akeem Olajuwon was the only other person I knew in the world whose name started with AK and was black. So I made my dad get me an Akeem Olajuwon jersey. Then I heard about this homeless guy who turned into an NBA champion. His name was Dennis Rodman. Then I heard about this dude whose parents had AIDS and who came from the hood and, you know, and that was from Maryland there, the guard, Juan Dixon. And then I heard about Steve Francis and what he went through. So it's always about guys' stories. Like I didn't care about, I still don't care about the analytics. Like I care about your story. Like I like Steph because he's like a rare family guy, you know? Like I like Ant because Ant will take the challenge. Like, and like, he's like, I got love for the Atlanta basketball scene because I spent some time there with Vi back in the day. So it's always been about story. So like analytics is good for the game on the court, but I don't care.
You think story draws people in a bit more? Like
It drew me
in. Love?
It drew me in. Maybe there's another type of fan that's more interested in numbers than they are in people, but I am not interested in numbers more than I am in people.
Okay.
I have a question, like just on the story thing, because you talked about like the story and the struggle,
Yeah.
and you pointed to a lot of these guys that had struggle.
Yeah.
What about yourself do you see in them? Because usually when we like someone's story, it's like we
true.
see something in them.
That's true.
So
You know what
that's
I-
the bias, right? So like I probably like the things that serve me. So I obviously like the NBA players that fit into my worldview.
Mm.
So for me, I mean, like if people don't know, like I had a hell of a childhood and a hell of a life. Like up until I was 25, my life was, it's weird because there's this huge disconnect for people where they see me and like, again, I'm nobody special, but like I do play a role in my community. And the role that I play in my community doesn't, people see that, but it's hard to imagine like exactly how crazy stuff got for me to act the way I act now.
Mm.
So I think when I hear about Rodman, when I hear about Steve Francis, when I hear about Juan Dixon, those like I come from a situation that like if people knew how I grew up, they'd be like, that's not true. That's insane. You know what I'm saying? So like I kind of resonate with those kind of stories. So you're right to pick up on that.
Wanted to know. It was, man's wanted to know.
Yeah, so like, yeah, definitely, right? So if you come from a different world, if you come from a more academic background, if you come from a, you know, like whatever the difference is between me and you, yeah, there's probably a different type of player, different style of basketball that you enjoy that doesn't resonate with my life experience.
Okay. So actually, you talked about media literacy, and that's one of the, I think, bigger topics I wanted to get into
Yeah.
today. Or that we want to get in with you today. How important do you think media literacy is in today's climate?
So I'm banking on it being super important because I'm building a company that's media literacy.
Okay, so talk to me about
So,
that.
I'm banking. Okay. It's a weird conversation to start. First off, I'll start the conversation by saying this because I actually thought about this before I came over here. Because we're going to talk about men's mental health and blah, 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 blah. And I think the most important thing for my mental health right now, not the most important thing, but it's up there, is not being an employee.
Mm.
I think that is something that's very important. Shouts out to you, right, for everything you're doing, for starting your businesses. But I think that's a huge part of men's mental health, is not being an employee. Right? I see LaShawn over there. He's made his decisions to not be an employee. There's nothing wrong with being an employee. If your trade, if your thing is employee style, then that works. That's the first part of it. And then so I had to go out there and I had to look at, okay, if I'm going to not be an employee forever, where do my skills meet the market? And so you can figure out where your skills meet the market now. And where my skills meet the market now is like hosting and talking. But I have another set of skills that bleed in, that allow me to host and talk. And that's the thing I do most of the time. Everyone sees me talking, but they don't understand, like, my whole life is research. Like, I'm alone all the time. Like, if I'm not with my daughter, I'm alone and I'm doing research. I didn't realize it was research. My friend had to tell me this because I just read, I watch videos, I'm just constantly consuming information. So I had to ask myself, where does my skill set and my interests meet the market in the future? And like, I'm reading all these books about social media and how young people are struggling with social media and how adults are struggling with social media. And I'm someone who's worked in social media, worked in broadcasting. And so I tried to find, so there's this idea called blue oceans. It's a market that's not oversaturated. It's a market that where like your individual special skill set meets a demand that's out there. And I believe that with parents, with athletes, there's going to be a demand for, one, like bringing back true storytelling skills, right? And two, like I've worked with, Nike, Adidas, the NBA, ESPN on social media. And I think every entry level position for a young person, like when you get a job, like there's going to be some social media angle to it. Like they're going to send you to an event, go shoot some videos, take some photos, post a caption, do a poll, right? And so if they don't have good foundations and aren't grounded in storytelling, if they haven't been in that space before, if no one's really helping them, and I don't think the teachers had the downtime to upgrade their skills in this very specific niche world, then I'm going to create the product that bridges that. So that's what my mission is right now, is to get the private schools first because of the money.
Yeah. Let's keep it nasty.
Right? And then eventually get partnerships with the school boards to deliver this. Because like, honestly, like I don't use calculus. I don't use a lot of the stuff, but like this stuff, they're already using it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I love that because that's like, I feel like that's so important. So when I was in university, I came off of social media because I wanted to like really lock in and make sure I graduate.
What year was this?
Last week.
How you know they're friends? How you know they're friends is because they're ready to take it there.
And all the time.
No, give me an itch. No, like, here's what I was saying though. It's like that's a very mature thing to think about, especially in university, because like we're now getting to the place where people are doing that, but like that's not common. Like most people are deleting their social media.
No.
Yeah.
Call you soft for deleting it.
Yeah, all right. Like, and there's so much opportunity. Hey,
So
check this out.
it was in the 2000 and
I like that.
but yeah, no, I felt myself like aimlessly scrolling and just getting consumed with it. So I wanted to really like, I think I had a couple months left and I was like, let me lock in. But then I was like, okay, I did it for this long. Let me continue. And to the point that I never thought about it. But then I don't know if we were on Big Brother or Amazing Race, and it was like, yo, can you manage my social media? So I jumped back on it and I found myself like in a whole new world.
Yeah.
And like I could have used like the media literacy because it was like so overbearing. I'm seeing like 17-year-olds, Lamborghinis, this, that.
It's crazy.
All these girls, all this stuff.
Crazy.
I didn't even like, at one point was like, yo, bro, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, because it was too much.
It's a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like, you think about it, like in human history, like before there were even books, like how many ideas do you think the average human being ran into in their life? Like human beings have been around for 2 million years. Okay.
Yeah.
Internet, TV, technology, 250. Print, maybe 600, 1,000 years old or whatever, right? So for like 99.9% of the time our body and mind have been developed, you probably encountered 3 ideas in your whole life. How many
brand new idea? Like
brand new
Okay,
ideas.
okay.
Like you think about a caveman, how often
Yeah.
you think about someone in like 5,000 BC. Like how many brand new ideas are you going to encounter and then have to interpret, digest, integrate, and then share? How many ideas? I can tell you right now, we are bombarded and overloaded and I know so much shit. I can't use any of it.
Yeah.
I can't use any of it. I know there's things about mental health, about wellness that like I have memorized, but then I'll take a course And then what I'll realize is I've memorized and I know it and I can recite it and I can share it and I can talk about it, but I haven't embodied it. I haven't digested it. I haven't grokked it. I haven't integrated it. So when you integrate it, it's completely different. The knowledge that comes from that thing is completely different. So yeah, like we are completely overexposed.
Yeah, it buries you. Like I was doing a talk the other day, and it was talking about like mental health and AI. And I was telling them that like you could use AI to make your mental health better, but I'm like, here's why like a lot of people are depressed and struggling right now, and a lot of it's social media.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I'm like, think of it like this. Think about growing up, or like you're in your early 20s, and there's this guy, let's call him Tyrone. Tyrone has big muscles, drives a sports car.
He's
handsome.
Hold on.
Handsome. He's on yachts and
this Ty Sean.
Are you Tyrone?
No, not
Okay.
You see Tyrone, life's going amazing for Tyrone. Back in the day, Tyrone might walk by you once a month.
Yeah.
Think about it. Oh, I hate Tyrone. Whatever. You open social media, there's 100 Tyrones you're seeing every day. There's somebody smarter than you, faster, you traveling more than you,
And
got
they'll
someone
trigger you.
in a car.
And they're triggering you inside, and you're having all these feelings and experiences. You live a million experiences before you even get up out the chair.
And it happens in all different areas. Some people, it's like their girl, they love their girl. Then they go on social media, they see booty shaking, this happened, that happened. They're like, oh no, maybe what am I doing over here? Or you see somebody, oh, why is her boyfriend giving her flowers, chocolates, candy?
Yeah.
Like it just creates these narratives that you would never have had without it.
Yeah, social media is crazy, man. Social media is
No,
it's conflicting.
yeah, to a certain degree. And I hear what you guys are saying, but I look at it totally different.
Talk.
Tyrone, I'm looking at, I'm going to be Tyrone one day.
It's inspiring.
That,
to you.
you see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Now, the booty shaking, I'm like, I'm not into it. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different thing.
Spoken for, and she's watching.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I ain't watching the booty. Put it out there. So when I see that, I'll be like, yeah, whatever. But back to the next one where that a husband or boyfriend got his girlfriend something, I'm like, oh, she might like that.
Yeah, no,
That's an idea for me. You get what I'm saying?
it's like a knife, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Mhm.
double edged. Like it could save your life, like a scalpel, or it could end your life.
But what he's talking about is actually media literacy. When you
Yeah.
really take it in.
Yes.
Because he's pretty much saying you could see those things
Shift it.
and be jealous and be like, why is it not me? Da-da-da. Or you could take them, bring it in your mind and be like, no, this is actually how I could be inspired by this.
Yeah.
But
you have to actually do the work to do that.
yeah,
Like, and sometimes
it's all about your
I was
child.
about to tell you that's the only difference because Tyrone, that's the name we use. He's not he's not gonna show you what he did to get to where he's at. He's just gonna talk about it and then he's gonna show you the fancy lifestyle and then people just think it's easy.
Yeah, I
Right?
think a lot of this though starts with your childhood.
Mm.
This is the one
Yeah.
thing, like, because like, what kind of childhood did you have? Did you have two parents? How many parents? It was personal.
Like in the house?
yeah, in the house.
My mom.
Yeah, and your dad was around.
He was there.
Okay, because you have a very healthy perspective. For you to just naturally
Oh, man.
default to I'm gonna look at this guy this way, that means that someone in your life took the time
And shaped it out.
to shape your worldview so that you felt safe enough to look at someone else, right? And say, hey, this is an example. And so like that's a commendation to you, but I know from my experience that that's not happening often.
No,
That's a great skill set to have. So a lot of people, what ends up happening is they've got this relationship with themselves and relationships with other people's where they come from a situation of lack, of poverty mindset.
Mm.
So whenever they do seize anything at all that's like they want, they like, they're interested in,
It's like a diss.
yeah, it triggers like a physiological. Like you may think like they're like thinking about it. No, it's completely like you didn't have to think about that perspective. That's the perspective you had, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to think about it. They default to that guy.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this because that's me.
same.
I know that that's where
Really?
yeah, that's where I came from. Speak on it, man.
100%. For me, it's like I actually what Freck is talking about. I have to work to get there.
So you're opposite of that mindset initially.
Initially,
Really?
like I think because sometimes I go on social media. Now I'm aware to the point where it's like, why do I feel inside after I went out scrolling for 20 minutes?
Toxic.
Why do I feel like this?
Yeah, like something made me.
It's like somebody punched me in my face. Like, why do I feel like this? I'm like, oh, because I'm seeing all these things I don't have
Mm,
and wishing I had them.
mm.
And then, but then I'm like, hold on a sec. But it's like, that should inspire me to work harder. But I have to process that. It's not the first thought that
first
comes
click.
to my mind.
Okay.
Right? Because it's like it's so many things. It's like, oh, I only got 10 likes on this. Everybody hates me. Hell.
I understand.
Where it's not personal.
This is why I don't share books on Instagram. Every time I share a book, I get like 9 likes and no comments. So I was like, I'm not sharing with y'all no more.
Show some abs, you'll probably get like,
Like, bro, I'm just trying to help y'all read.
yeah. But no, even to that. So, social media, and I know everybody thinks about social media. Social media is faking everybody, and I'm gonna tell you why. So whoever is putting up whatever they put up, whatever they do, but then, for example, now if you meet the person, whatever he might have showed you, he might not actually have.
Yeah.
So that's why I think a lot of people are getting fooled, because I've been fooled. A guy, showing me, he's showing all this money, this, that, and the third. Chilling with him. Yo, you got me on this? Huh? Or we go to his house.
Got me? Oh,
We go to his house that he apparently had, but he's in his mom's basement.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where's the
Bought
big?
my mom a house so she has somewhere to live.
That's the big line. About this. This is my house. I just stay downstairs.
Yeah.
And then the Range Rover. Okay, so where you got that from?
I've never owned a car. People get mad at me. I've ridden the subway my entire adult life, but I'm from downtown Toronto.
You don't need a car if you live
Like,
downtown.
I've lived downtown since I got to this country. What, am I gonna pay to park it?
True.
A lot of fees come there. Yeah, it's true.
I get nowhere fast.
It's true.
I don't travel outside the city. If I'm going outside the city, I'm hopping on a plane. I don't know nobody in Brampton.
Hey,
I don't know nobody outside.
Slow down, man.
I'm sorry. It's funny. Like, I always get flack for this.
Now what?
Like my family didn't have a car. Who do I know in Brampton?
That's
Like,
fine.
I'm
I hear
from
you.
downtown. Like, I don't know anyone outside of like the core. I used to think if it was past Kennedy, past Kipling, more north than Steeles,
The world ended.
it was
Drop
God. It was God. But yo, to speak to what you were saying just now, I can give you the prime example of how social media isn't real. I'm not a liar on social media. I post things that are real, but my social media is absolutely not my life. I was actually talking to my friend about this the other day. Like, okay, there's 41 Raptors home games, okay? And the Raptors home game lasts about 3.5, 4 hours. Right? So 41, there's 365 days in a year. So 41 Raptors home games that last about 3 hours. And there's another 200 and some plus odd days at 24 hours. If you were to look at my social media, though, most of my posts happen in and around Raptors home games.
Right.
Right? Then you look at the other posts. Oh, I'm hosting an event for the NBA. I'm hosting an event for Nike. I'm doing this. There's maybe like 12 to 20 of those a year, right? So like I got 62 events. What am I doing with the rest of my time? Like, I do share the time I spend with my daughter because like I love watching videos of her. I'd put that on my story more for me than for anyone else.
Mhm.
Like, so other people could tell me things about my daughter, and so I can just go back and look at the videos of my daughter. But like, if you were to look at my Instagram, you would get this picture that I'm like in these places and traveling and doing these things. But then, like, in my actual life, I spend about like 60 to 70% of my time alone reading, researching, and watching Jurassic Park. And it's just so weird that like I only now realized that like, yeah, there's a complete disconnect between what's projected for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even being facetious or
Yeah, yeah.
disingenuous. I'm sharing dope moments, but they're not reflective of who I am and how I live my life.
I just look at it like social media for me is it's a tool, but as you look at anything, perception is your reality, right? So whatever you are exposed to or anything like that it's going to be what you consume or what you think the reality of your life is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Like you said, double-edged sword for sure.
Mhm. Yeah. He provided a great example.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, we would have all went negative.
Facts.
He flipped it.
Facts. So when it comes to that with AI, clicks, and in broadcasting, like the first to break a story,
Yeah.
do you think we're in an era of we don't care what the truth is misinformation led?
We don't care.
And that's the kind of question for the room.
So I think the problem is that we don't share the same language with the people that we live with. Because when you say truth, I want to know, what do you mean by truth? Because like there's truth, which is the facts.
Okay.
And the facts have to be reported by somebody because I'm not present for all of the facts.
Right.
So the people who held on to the truth historically have been, you know, CNN for me as a Toronto guy, CTV,
Yeah.
Global, CP24. So what they're sharing is the truth in essence, in that they have the facts of the event, right? But then there's another truth, which is like, you look at what's happening in the States right now, where there's so many people, like there's like so many people who are like, DEI is not real, America's racist, racism's not real, like, and like they're living in the same places
Yeah.
and having completely different experiences. So you got to ask yourself, like, what's true, right? Like, what is true? So like, I think there's a couple of, I think much like the word love, right? Like love has like agape, right? And then it's got whatever the other ones are. I don't know them. Amore, agape, and whatever, right? So like in different languages, there's multiple words for love. We don't have multiple words for truth. And so there's like the facts, but then there's the truth of like your experience, what the water tastes like, that kind of stuff. So I think like right now we're in this space where like both ideas collided on the internet,
Yeah.
you know, where it's like before we'd get our news from there, but we'd share our truth with our close personal friends. Like you could hear that George Bush, you know, is whatever. And then you tell somebody like, I think the whole thing's a hoax. But now the internet's boom. So our facts are coming and our non-fact truth is coming and everyone's just making noise. So I think right now we're transitioning into like something new. Like we have to figure out how do we figure out what truth is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like to that point, like I sort of agree with what Akil's saying. I feel like we just live in the most polarized world we've ever seen. Like I just feel like certain people believe one thing, and then certain people believe another thing. And then the way social media algorithms work is that they show you more of the thing that you already believe.
Echo chamber.
So it's just an echo chamber. So if you believe that Donald Trump's a great guy and he's not racist, he's doing great things for the country,
so weird.
You're gonna see that. Everybody else is gonna agree with you, and everyone's gonna be like, yeah, everybody's gonna be high-fiving.
Yeah.
Like that's the vibe. Versus there's people on the other side being like, "This guy, are you guys serious?" But it's not. Who do you blame? Because it's like if you're surrounded by people who only tell you the same thing and believe what you believe,
Perception.
what happens? And then what is true?
You know what,
You know what I mean?
You know what on the larger scale I think is happening, and I'm starting to like take this in, and I think that people don't. So like if you look at it, like we're real worried right now, right? Because like you look at like finance, because we had the old model of finance, and now we got Bitcoin and all sorts of different cloud computing ways to do things, and then we had like the old version of governance, like you know, like politician, career politician climbs ranks, and Trump threw that on its head, so celebrity politician. And then we had the old model of entertainment, which was, you know, 16 episode or 24 episode TV show. Now you got like reality TV shows and internet TV shows. And I think like we've been talking about this for so long that we forget it's happening. All the old models are dead.
Mhm.
And all the new models, like we don't have this is like living when they're moving from feudalism to like capitalism, or when like, you know, the USSR tried to move from like socialism, their version of communism, to socialism or capitalism. It's like everything has to fail. Right? You think about traditional TV, every big blockbuster movie that's come out in the last year and a half has failed because they no longer understand how people consume content.
Yeah.
You think about so many traditional companies, Hudson's Bay, right? They failed because the model didn't work, because we're moving into a brand new way of doing things. Like you think about, like, remember NFTs?
Yep. I was here today.
Remember
Not
them?
tomorrow, yeah.
Remember them?
Yeah.
Like literally, it was a new model that we created. It didn't work. So like we're in this. I think sometimes we get trapped in like, this is so bad. This is so bad. It's like, no, this is what we've been begging for, because we know capitalism, at least the version we have, doesn't work. We know that the way our government, it may have taken Donald Trump, but we know the way politics are funded, the way politicians are found. We know it doesn't work. We know our generation's been begging for all these things to collapse, but the problem is they're collapsing.
Yeah, we don't know how to maneuver now.
But no one knows.
Position.
We never should know. If we knew, then we'd be just putting some other system in.
Yeah.
We're supposed to sit in like our confusion and figure it out together.
Yeah.
Like what you guys are doing here.
That's true. 20 years ago, we wouldn't have a podcast.
Right?
Talking
You think about men.
It's true.
Men. Think about our dads having this conversation. It would have been a fight.
For real. Actually, perfect segue. Men's mental health, gentlemen.
Yo.
Akil, when you hear men's mental health, I don't want to limit to one thing, but give me the first two things that come to the mind for you.
When I think of men's mental health, the first thing I think of is Bell Hooks,
Okay.
the author,
Mhm.
and men's mental health, work. I think so much of our identity as men is tied up. I can't say that actually anymore because I'm a very specific type of man. Like I'm a Caribbean descendant, Northeast, East Side Toronto, Black, Roman Catholic. Sometimes we forget. Like I think my perspective is like universal. I forget. Like I'm a Roman Catholic, Trinidadian, son of a Rasta. Like it's hyper specific and niche. But I think I think one of the biggest things for men's health is just work, because okay, so we call it work now, right? Like it's a job. But before it was institutionalized and capitalized, it wasn't work. It was who you are. Like you wake up, you kill something so your family can eat. You build something so your family can live. You go find new space so that you can survive the next season. Like the things that we do now that we call work, we're just like
Survival.
life.
Yeah.
So like when I say work, I think like men tie their identity to being a valuer of service, and now like our culture is like, okay, a valuer of service is making money. But like, what about like being there for your best friend when he's having a hard day? What about like, cleaning up your neighborhood? What about, there's so many other ways you can provide value. But I think like for men, we export it to work, but like the work is us.
To be honest, no, it's crazy because obviously when you ask somebody, what are the two things that you think how you started is usually the answers you get.
Yeah.
But then for you to break it down into these different identities that, you will give yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's what you embody. You don't hear that. That's not a regularity, right? So it's like people don't think of, like if they see me, I'm like, okay, you're a barber. Because that's what I do right now. But it's like,
you take care of your community. You make sure guys look good for their job interviews.
See what I'm saying? So much more than that. But now it's like, now it's become, mental health has become such of a mainstay popularized type of term where now we are looking deeper into the meanings of what the things that we're actually doing, which I think is important. But again, people, viewers especially, need to sit down and kind of rethink what that is, right?
Yeah.
Of themselves. Not just giving themselves the title of the identity that they're going on forth with. Yo, I'm this and I'm that and I'm this, but what else? Because like you just said, as a barber, I'm a vessel to my community. I'm doing this, I'm doing that for them. So actually, it really, really applied that you even broke it down for deeper than what it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a big topic, right? And everyone's got their angle to like play it. It's 360 degrees. There's so many different ways. I love to hear what you guys think, because like I think like every one of us brings like a whole different way of looking at it.
For me, something that I struggle with in terms of mental health is, as much as I love it, being a father. Because I know they always talk about like, women, they lose their identity and all these things, but men do too.
Oh yeah.
Because the person that I used to show up as, you know what I mean? Somebody's flipping me off in traffic and I want to go do something to them. Like now it's in the back of your mind. Like, hey, I got this little one behind me. And how am I showing up for them so they don't make the wrong mistakes later? And like, when it breaks down to like who you are as a person, sometimes that person has to die for you to become a father.
I love that.
You know what I mean? So I would say that for me, that's one of the things that relate to like mental health for sure, becoming a father.
Yeah. Somebody's got to die.
No, Theon speaks like the death of your old self is an interesting concept, because it's like it requires you to lose who you were. And it happens at all different stages. I'm sure it happens in fatherhood. I don't know. Not yet.
Sports.
Yeah, sports, changing of the job, anything.
Sports, changing a job, trying to level up. Like it requires you to, what got you to where you are will never get you to the next place. And that is something to mourn. when I think of men's mental health, to be honest with you, like what all you guys are kind of saying, it's all encompassing. To me, it's just how you live your life.
You just hit on something. Did you mourn who you were?
No.
Really? You didn't miss the old you?
I think,
But mourning and missing is different.
yeah,
That's true.
Because you do miss it, obviously.
of course, I
I miss it.
It's a great question. Yeah.
I definitely miss it, but I think I like the version of who I am a lot better today.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think
myself compared to who I am.
Juice, you came prepared today. I love it. Ah! Big Juice.
yeah, you have to I mean, for me, yeah, the person that I was obviously helped me be the person I am today, but to say that I like that version better than who I am today would be doing a disservice to myself. And I think if I'm living in the past, then I'm.
But you gotta mourn it. So take that time.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I'm not telling you what to do. Like, I gotta check.
No, I think you are right.
Just
I think
say
you are.
something. But like, yeah, I have to mourn. Like, I'm not getting into me, but like, yeah, we gotta mourn.
Yeah.
I'll stop there.
Absolutely.
No, I agree. To be honest with you, I think mourning that is, like you said, it's not missing it, but it does help you be self-aware as to where you're going.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, I just want,
Go ahead.
even with what Juice just said, when you said you gotta, like, what, that the other side of you's gotta die.
Mhm.
I hear him.
Disagree, huh?
But I don't, no. I don't disagree. I don't disagree because, and the reason why I say it is because I don't want to say I grew up rough, like, you know, up in the hood, you know what I'm saying? So you see things, you know, and I just feel like with my kids, I don't want them to, I don't want to say they grew up in the hood,
Yeah.
but I do see some things where I'm like, oh, you need to toughen up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Some
like
of these teachings shaped me.
you know, that's who I am today. So I would never say like kill that self. It's changing it in a way where now it benefits.
You
And this
touched
is-
on my biggest fear.
Mm.
Cause like, my daughter lives in Hamilton.
Okay.
Okay, with her mom. Her mom's an amazing mother, and they have a great family. Super supportive, super close. And I'm her father, and there's nothing I won't do for this little girl. I drive 2 hours back and forth every day or every other day if I have to see her. But I'm afraid, and again, this is like, it's hard to say because I'm talking about my shadow right now. Because like for me as a kid, like people don't understand like my childhood, but like I am a petty, jealous, driven, hurt child on the inside that I'm reparenting. So I look at my daughter and I'm like, this is the type of person I would have hated.
You touch on that again. You said you're reparenting yourself even.
Yeah, I was never parented in the first place.
I know.
But like I look at my daughter and like when I was younger, I hated kids who had two parents or a parent. I hated anyone who had anything because I had nothing. Like I literally had nothing other than my sister, but I had nothing. So like there's this disconnect. Like I grew up like if I tell you guys the stuff that I did and that happened to me as a child, it's like my daughter's gonna know none of it.
Yeah.
She's not gonna know Trinidad. She's not gonna know Brooklyn. She's not gonna know Scarborough. She's not gonna know homelessness. She's not gonna know illegal immigrant, right? She's not gonna know being physically abused, sexually abused, mentally abused, psychologically abused, right? She's not gonna know. There's nothing from my childhood that is going to be involved in her childhood. And it's just such a strange experience because I hated those kids growing up.
Interesting.
Right?
That's deep. That's deep.
Really deep. Yeah, so it's really weird to be there and to create this childhood for her, knowing that that's the childhood I wanted, and that those are the kids that I despised, the kids that have what she has.
Yo.
Trying to think of how to respond to that. Because like you despise, I feel like, no, I don't want to speak for you, but you might have despised it because like you didn't.
Because I didn't have it. It's my shadow, right?
But that for me, that's almost like part of my parenting, to be honest with you. Like
Sure, that's
Flip it, yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like for me, like to a certain degree, like what you were saying, I want certain elements for my kids to see. Like I want us to go to the ball court and be like, whoa, those guys are, now you're playing with them. You're gonna figure this out. But at the same time, I don't want them to be around like where it's like, oh yo, those guys over there are selling drugs, they're doing that, they're about to go run into somebody's house. I would love for them to see it, but not be around it. Where
No,
as I was younger, you know what I mean? And I was like you too. I hated the kids that used to come back with their hair braided from Jamaica, and I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't have certain snacks in my lunchbox or pencils or whatever. But to be honest with you, that's what I'm creating for my kids now. You know what I mean? My eldest has gone on a plane three times. He's 4 years old. I didn't go on a plane till I was. I pretty much went when I was playing basketball. You know what I mean? Like I do agree with. And I'm certainly seeing certain elements, but not everything.
No, for sure.
No,
Yeah.
100% not everything. Let me clarify some things for you guys. You guys, I know you guys are thinking, answer me what I'm saying. Let me drop you guys. I'll talk to you in an hour or two. Figure it out. You know, no money. Get home if you can. No, it's not like that. For me, it's just a rough around the edges. And what I say by that is like, I'm gonna give you guys a prime example. You guys are probably saying, what is this guy talking about? I tell my son sometimes, my wife always tells me, stop saying this to him. You're playing like a light skin. And now let me explain. I'm gonna explain that when I explain that.
Is he light skinned?
Who, my son?
Yeah.
Oh, my son.
That's Rico Suave. He's light skinned.
The man's pretty. Okay, let's just say he's pretty. So we had to go through all these trials and tribulations already before he's even 10 years old. He's only 8 and he's 9 because I'm shaping his mind, not his body, not his mind.
Yeah.
His mind is the most important thing. I don't care how big that guy is. I don't care how strong that guy is. I don't care how fast that guy is. You know what I'm saying? Because he bleeds the same blood as you. So when I say rough around the edges, I'm not. Let me get back to the whole light skin thing first. And I said,
Yeah, we gotta unpack that.
stop playing like a light skin. And then she's always saying, what do you mean by that? You have to explain it to him. So now I'm explaining to him. So I'm like, you see that kid right there, how he just ran through that player and didn't care? He's dark skin. You know what I'm saying? No, hear me out.
Only black people can say it.
No, you see what I'm saying? It is fact, right? He ran through him and he got up like nothing was happening. The first time my son fell, he said, oh, my leg, my knee. Brother, you tripped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Life.
Get up.
That's life.
But she would run over there. Oh my God, my baby. Move. Nope, we're not doing that. I want him to be tough because in his mind, like I told you guys, in the mind, if your mind believes you're going to go, your body's going to go, right? So as time went on now.
You're saying everything I was just saying, but you're away. That's what I'm talking
But
about.
this is the part of the mental health conversation that we leave out. We talk about mental health as if it's like, oh, it's okay, I'm gonna be there for you.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna protect my kids.
No.
Grow up nice.
Yeah.
But the things that shaped you guys and made you who you are today were some hard things.
I got my ass
And
beat.
you have to sometimes. But there's a line that you have to draw. And what you guys are talking about is like, I think sometimes the mental health conversation went so left when it was just like, let's just be there and people are depressed.
Well, yeah, we definitely see that with like the participation generation and like, you know, the culture.
Everyone's a winner. Good job. No.
No, and you're right.
No.
Because I always tell them, I said, just because you're playing hard doesn't mean you're going to get the results you want, right? So I want them to understand, not just my son and everybody, right? Even though we lost the game, that doesn't mean because, oh, we worked hard, we didn't win. You continue to go. You got to work harder. You got to work stronger. You got to be faster. You got to do all these things to get to the level that we're all trying to get at. So when I'm saying I'm trying to shape their mind because they're young, they're going to grow. They're going to do all these things. So when I tell them to run through a kid, right? And yeah, he's a little dark skin, you're light skin. There's no difference. You could do it too, right? And then now he plays more aggressive. He plays stronger. We're getting calls saying, hey, those kids are too strong.
You know what you're touching on that our culture is missing? So like, look, you're touching on the same thing I was saying because like my fear is, one, she's my daughter. So like,
Of course.
it's just not like, I have the self-identity of a mud baby. Like I came through some stuff that like makes it like very hard for me to change my self-identity. Like I have this vision of myself and what I've been through. And so I don't know that she'll ever be able to like really get in tune with that side of me. But what you're speaking of is like, our culture is missing initiation, right? Because like, my bad. Like my life was in danger so many times. Like the beatings I got, the threats I got, the situations I was like, people ask like, how are you like this? How can you perform the way you, how can you show up the way you do? it was because of all that terrible stuff that happened to me. But in other cultures, like Polynesian cultures and stuff like that, that danger is structured into the onboarding process of adulthood, right? So it's like you go out and you hunt, right, with the men. So like, literally life's in danger. You're having this physiological experience. And for us as North Americans, everything is about comfort. Like our entire life is about comfort. And I think when young people, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, aren't exposed to discomfort, aren't exposed to danger, like, you know, like you make a fake world, like they haven't held a real knife, like they've never been out in a, like, life is fragile. If you don't have the ability to handle danger, you're gonna grow up and you see the type of adults we're producing right now. People who are afraid to go outside, people who can't have conversations, people who feel safer in costumes and want to stay online on the computer because they've never been in danger. They've never been in danger.
It's a great
Even the conversation thing. Today, I was like to my son, I was like, yo, that kid over there, go say hi. My girl's like, why are you making him do that? I'm like, I want him to have the ability to have a conversation. These are like I don't want to say programming, but like imagine like later, like, you know, guys don't know how to talk to girls and whatever. Like,
absolutely,
this is not a fear of his.
Yeah,
he just goes and does it. Like, so
yeah, you got to condition them into that, man, and a lot of that's not happening.
Shifting gears, I wanted to quickly, you know, kind of talk in your undocumented
goods.
the initiative and the journey.
Yeah, the mission and the journey.
You know?
Yeah, man.
So if you can tell us, you know, just a bit about what Undocumented is, and then just your bit of your journey.
So Undocumented is a student film made by a group of students at Ryerson. So throughout my whole career, I've always made talks at schools. It's just important to me as, like, you know, who I am, to spend as much time with young people and give back. And then one time I was doing a talk, and sometimes I get excited. I'm super passionate. And I shared information about myself that I had never shared before. Because, I mean, no one knew I grew up undocumented. No one knew. Like, I was 38 years old. No one knew.
We say undocumented. What do you mean?
So an undocumented person is in the country illegally. They have no claim that they are found out. They get deported. So I did a talk with these students, got hyped, told them a bit too much information about myself. And then they came back at me like, hey, you have a crazy story. Can we tell your story for our thesis project? They were at Ryerson, film students. So we went through the whole, I helped them, I executive produced the documentary with them, great group of kids. And we told my life story, well, part of my life story, and we raised money for a refugee center that I lived in high school, the FCJ Refugee Center. But yeah, so the story is about, you know, my background. If you don't know, I was born in Trinidad and Tobago. Family moved to Brooklyn, New York. Then my parents, obviously this is like 87, that dates me as how old I am. And then, you know, this is right when crack hits in Brooklyn. So our neighborhood just turned into a nightmare. Parents decide I can't grow up there. So they send me to Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Grew up here with an aunt who ended up suffering from some serious mental health issues, a cousin who's a well-known drug dealer in the city. And you can imagine what having a mentally unstable aunt and my cousin led to. So from about the age of like 7 or 8, like I was out there. I saw stuff you wouldn't imagine. I was physically and sexually abused a lot as a child. Things got really bad in high school. I was on the run from the cops. And again, at the same time, I was undocumented, right? So it's like I couldn't go to school, couldn't go to work, couldn't go to the hospital if I broke my leg or got shot, because then you show up, you wouldn't have a health card, you wouldn't have papers. So they'd ask you, and then the cops would show up, and then they'd be like, well, he's illegal, so they have to deport you. So like there were times where I got the flu, and I was like on the verge of dying, but I couldn't go to a hospital. I got chicken pox, couldn't go to the hospital, right? So like, and then I grew up downtown, right? So I grew up Blake Street, not too far from Regent, lived in Malvern. Most of the neighborhoods I grew up in, they practice carding. So there's an illegal undocumented person. When they practice carding, that's like the biggest, like so much of my life was like my friends stashing me in garbage cans and just like running the other way.
Crazy.
Because if the feds find me, I'm gone, right? So like, so that is the story that we attempted. So that's my life story. Like, obviously, I got to give big shouts out. I went to Neil McNeil High School. John Candy, one of the greatest Canadian comedians, his family actually paid for me to go to college through an acting scholarship.
Shout out to them, man.
My favorite politician of all time, Olivia Chow's husband, Jack Layton. His office was down the street from my house. We were friends. He wrote me a letter in order for me to become a documented person. So like I didn't get my papers till I was 25. By the time I was 25, I was in the street. Like my cousin was using me as a decoy. I was like 10 years old.
Yeah, you were lived.
I had seen a lot. Like my aunt committed fraud. Like we were forging signatures, stealing identities. Like if I were to tell people about my childhood, they'd be like, of course you ended up the way you did. Like I was doing adult stuff at 9. So that is the documentary. So the documentary tells a little bit about that. And we raised money and just spread awareness. Because right now, the reason why we really did the documentary was because like people are against immigration right now. Like there's a huge kickback against immigration, and the group that I was working with was putting pressure on the government, Trudeau's government, because they made a promise to regularize all the undocumented people. And there aren't a lot of undocumented people who could come out and publicly talk about their situation. I'm one of the few. Like I don't know very many undocumented people who've become publicly visible and would speak about it. So I did it for them, and then that was what that was.
Damn.
I have a question.
I got an answer.
You look concerned.
Thank you for sharing. No, because it was.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I think
It's a lot.
But the question sort of sums up what I feel like we're about. He's a guy. It's kind of like, how did you make it out the other side?
You know what I will say? So one thing I'll say is I got to give props to my genes as an African, as a Trinidadian. Like I think as Black people, we don't really recognize what a gift it is to come from a culture that's so in tune with the rhythms of the earth. Because there's no listen, I should be dead. I should be dead. I should be in jail, or I should be dead and in jail. Like there's no like it's funny because like I never talked about this. Like no one knew I was undocumented. I was 38 years old. No one had ever heard of that. And because there's a lot of deep shame in my family, and there are people in my family who are still mad at me every time I talk about this, but I have to talk about this because this was my life and it's going to help someone else. So there's a deep shame about it, but I think for me, what allowed me to survive, one, again, my Blackness played a huge role in it, right? But I think my ignorance, I didn't know better. When someone grows up in a situation like mine, you don't know
Yeah.
that this ain't what everyone's
That's how
going.
you're supposed to go, yeah.
It's actually, that's probably what caused me to get so upset when I got to like high school and like,
Realizing some shit.
yeah, got outside of my neighborhood. I'm like, oh wait, this is how you guys are living?
Yeah.
Like that's probably, but like I got through it because I didn't know better. I didn't have a point of reference. Like ain't nobody in my family ever had money, right? I was watching a lot of ghetto content. So it's like, I thought everybody, like the funny thing is like when I listen to gangster rap, a lot of people are like, oh, gangster rap warped Black people's minds. Like my cousins and we were doing, like when I heard Jay-Z's first album, I was like, oh, this guy knows what we're doing. He's got drums. I was like, oh my God, this is so, no, it was like, oh, finally someone's talking about what we're doing.
Nah, click that up. Click that up.
It was
That's
so
the one.
crazy. But yeah, that was it, like ignorance, man.
I super appreciate that you telling us all that, man.
Yeah, I have a question too. Like, what did it do for you mentally? For example, like you said, you couldn't even go to the hospital because you were so, like, I feel like you had to be like an non-existent alien, like.
Yeah, they called us illegal aliens. I'm actually getting a tattoo that says illegal alien. I'm gonna get Mars, the Marvin the Martian.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Marvin the Martian as my next tattoo. What did it do? I mean, listen, look,
And like
I'll
even
be
having
honest.
to be hidden garbage cans, like what did that do to you?
So again, now this is full transparency because we're doing like a men's health
Yeah.
podcast, and like I'm in a phase of my life now. I'm 43 years old. I've kind of given up on a lot of different things, so I'm gonna say the truth. Like, man, I've had terrible mental health for most of my life. I was suicidal at 31 while on TV. I've been super depressed. I've battled childhood depression. I battled adulthood depression. Because like my life experiences led me to have very little self-worth and a very small self-image. Because like everyone has a mom. Like, okay, My dad left. But your mom leaves at 4, like everyone has a mom.
Yeah,
At least in
yeah.
the Black community, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone's got a mom. I didn't even have a mom. You know?
Yeah.
So it was like, I really felt small. And so one of the reasons why like I'm so accomplishment oriented is because like the only time as a child I ever got affection was when I did something
The other people congratulate.
so like a lot of who I am is built upon getting recognition. And so that's something that like I'm dealing with now as an adult, trying to like quell those wantings so like I don't pass that on to Isla.
Beautiful name, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Super. So, okay.
It's a lot to unpack. Take your time, big dog.
Just even to kind of close it there, you have a documentary. So I want people to not just take from this podcast interview and actually go and watch Undocumented. Right?
So that one, we're actually going to revisit the documentary.
Okay.
So I think I'm not done yet.
Okay.
So there's going to be more to come.
I don't want to give all the way to gems. This sounds like a crazy. I want to watch this.
You might
I was about to go home.
in the
I was about to go home.
I'll send you guys the link so you guys can check it out.
Yeah, definitely. I'd
So
love
like,
that.
one, I don't own that documentary. That's theirs.
Okay.
So probably in the
Watch this
future.
too. No, but what I'm saying is essentially it's just like to people that have similar lived experiences or to the undocumented. You're at a place now, like you said, where you've are starting to unpack certain things and reparent or reinvent yourself in those and things in your later years of life. So what would you say now to the people that are to come that are even in the depths of the mud of what you're speaking of?
So this is the most important thing I can say to anyone. And again, maybe it's not. It might change tomorrow. But the one thing that I've found that's worked the most is the attitude of experimentation, to iterate. So I treat, like, I don't know anyone who's done this, but like growing up, like I had like, so my parents lived in the States and I lived in Canada. So I had this habit where I would get like the byway flyer or like Canadian Tire flyer, and I would cut out
A throwback.
100%.
yeah, and I would cut out the things that I wanted, and I would tape them to a letter and send it to my parents in the States so that they could send it to me.
Yeah.
So they'd send me a box every year, right? It's a big thing in Caribbean country. You get a box or a barrel.
Yeah.
I get a barrel or a box every year from my parents, and they'd always buy the bootleg version of everything. Like the whole box was worth. It's like the Tommy Hilfiger tag that's supposed to be inside the sweater is like on the knee of the jean.
Yeah.
You're like, how am I supposed to get away with this? Like, there's no way. But I think that distracted me. What was the question again?
The question.
I'm so scarred from Tommy Hilfiger.
What do you tell the people that are in the depths of that, the
Yeah,
undocumented?
experimentation, iteration. So the thing I did was like, so I got in this habit of like making wish lists. And then from the wish lists, it evolved to vision boards. So like literally, like if my friends know, like you may come over to my house and then everything's gone. Like everything. Like I changed the living room. I changed my wardrobe. I changed all of my workouts. I'm very iterative. It costs me a lot of money, but what I get out of it is like, again, I grew up acquiescing to everyone else's needs but my own, right? So I didn't, and like I'm very black, I'm very Northeastern black, I'm very Brooklyn. So there's this tight identity I had about myself, like Maurice Francois Jabot jeans, Air Force Ones, Varsity, Anichi, Pelli, right? Look how tight my jeans are. I'm wearing Italian boots right now. This is a Tiger of Sweden shirt, right? So like I had to go through I remember when like Kanye came out and I started wearing like over the shoulder bags. My nickname in high school was White Boy at Eastern and in Regent, like because like I'm always just like I didn't know what I was, so like I just do wholesale experiments. The whole wardrobe changes, like the whole diet changes, the whole everything changes, and you don't have to do that, but like iteration, update, like the iPhone version 7, like you gotta treat yourself like the new model. So like I do that. Like my friends love coming to my house because they know they're getting a bag of Raptor swag because I just stopped wearing this.
Done with this one.
You know what I'm saying? I'm done with all this. I moved on to this experiment. Maybe this is me. oh no, this is not me. You can have all that. Maybe this is me, right? So that's really what I've done. I've thrown out every book and bought a whole bunch of new books, thrown out every hat, bought out a bunch of new hats. So just iterate, man.
I love that. That's a great message, to be honest.
Mhm.
So in closing,
Yeah.
okay. To the viewers out there, do you have anything that you would like to promote?
Yeah, if you know any teachers, that's the whole reason I'm doing this.
Yeah, man, talk to us.
If you know any teachers, educators, basketball team coaches,
Look at that.
anyone that like is working with young people 25 and under, the internet's a crazy place. I've spent most of my adult life on the internet working with major brands. I've developed a series of workshops called Media Lit. I don't know that anyone has taken on this space. I can't tell you how valuable the work that we're doing is, not for my own sake, but for the young people. Like, it's the swing state. Like, if kids don't figure out themselves online, things can fall apart quickly. And so these workshops are built to help young NIL athletes, young women and men who aren't in sports, really build a narrative about themselves so that they can sell themselves. Whether you're trying to go out on a date, whether you're trying to get admission into a school, whether you're trying to get a summer job, the most important skill set for a young person to have is to be able to move an adult from a no to a yes. And how do you do that? Storytelling, narrative, public speaking. And are you guys teaching them that? And are you also teaching them how to do that online? And that's where I come in. I tell stories online. I work with the biggest brands. I share content. So I want to teach young people how to do this too, so they can set themselves up not only to work for big brands or to create businesses themselves, but so they're better communicators with their friends and their loved ones and you, their teachers and parents. So that's what I came here for, to tell people about Media Lit.
I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you, fam.
Thank you, bro. Nah, he's a guy, bro.
Guy.
But yeah, man, we thank you again. You know, Akil Augustine. Again, I had no idea this is the type of. I'm thinking we're gonna talk about Raptors all day. This is what I'm seeing.
Episode
NBA TV,
Episode 2.
NBA TV Canada, Akil Augustine. But there's so much more to people, and that's what he's a guy is promoting. So do the work. You know what I'm saying? Reinvent, reiterate.
Reiterate.
You know, so again, from us to you, remember subscribe button right here, hit it.
Boop.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, see y'all.